Well, good morning. We're here at the Providence Emergency Management Agency and in the Emergency Operations Center, which later tonight and tomorrow we'll have key city staffing because that is the level of storm that we're anticipating. We are anticipating a severe blizzard to hit Providence, which would be, if it is as forecasted, the most severe blizzard in more than a decade. Some might remember Blizzard Keenan in 2022. Experts on this storm expect it to be more dangerous with more potential for damage than that storm in 2022. So this is a very serious snow event. I appreciate all of the residents and business owners and visitors to Providence. Please, following the instructions that we're making today and that we will continue to make in the days ahead, it is for your own safety and it is for the sake of being able to reopen the city as soon as possible, but it will take some time. This has been an incredibly difficult winter here in Providence, and I want to thank our neighbors for their patience as we are dealt with extreme cold, repeated and frequent snowstorms, and the fatigue that they must all be feeling for a winter that's been more severe than in many, many years. National reports have indicated that we're anticipating a historic blizzard in Providence and really throughout Rhode Island today, and it is critical that beginning this afternoon, people in Providence help us prepare, most importantly by moving their cars. We're expecting strong winds, heavy snow. There is a high potential for power outages and other infrastructure damage, and so you need to also have a plan in case your power goes out. I want to ensure that our neighbors are well informed throughout the storm and that they're taking proper precautions. We have the full force of city government prepared for this storm. Behind me you see Providence Police, Providence Fire, Providence Emergency Management, and the Department of Public Works. These departments, along with every other department in city government, will be playing their part in helping prepare for, respond to, and keep you safe through this major storm. The Department of Public Works has received a fresh shipment of salt. We have plenty of material ready for this storm. All of our city vehicles are ready to go and will begin pre-treating this afternoon. City vendors are also prepared and will be in this afternoon as well. They will all be working around the clock. And while I know that what residents want to know is when their street will get cleared, please know that the professionals who do snow operations here in the city work 36, sometimes 48 hours without sleep, and then we start phasing in breaks and we will stay at it. But with a storm of this proportion, they should expect on a multi-day cleanup effort. If this is at all like what is forecasted and knowing what it was like here in 2022, it will take many days. And the first step along this process is the city's parking ban. That goes into effect today at 3 p.m. It is critical that we have compliance with the parking ban. And I think anybody in the city knows that over the last 2 storms where there was a parking ban, compliance was not great. And so we have taken additional steps. The more compliance we can get, the better we can clear your streets. And so starting at 3 o'clock, we will be ticketing and towing. We have increased our tow capacity, nearly a 4-fold increase in the number of cars that we can and will tow in this storm. We will also be aggressively ticketing from the get-go so that you move your vehicle to allow our plows to work. Starting this afternoon at 1 o'clock, neighbors in Providence will start to see Providence police officers driving through the neighborhoods using their public announcement system, the loudspeakers in their cruisers, notifying residents about the impending parking ban and the need to move your cars. We try to notify people in every method we know how, 311 updates, through pushing out media messages like this, through social media, through emails to permit holders, and yet, no matter what we try, residents still claim they don't know about the parking ban. So today you will see Providence police officers on their loudspeakers reminding residents about the parking ban. Those reminders will start at 1 p.m. Parking ban begins at 3 and will be strictly enforced. I will add, as a side note, because we do hear from businesses every time we do a parking ban, the reason we have to start the parking ban before the first snowflake falls is because it takes us a couple hours to tow that many cars. And we need to get those cars off the road before snow operations begin. We also need to make sure that the tow trucks themselves can safely get down the streets, particularly in a storm like this where we're anticipating at times 1 to 3 inches of snowfall per hour, which can and we expect will be whiteout conditions. It's no safer for a tow truck operator than it is for anyone else in those conditions. And so we have to start before the first snowflake falls. So please help us keep your car off the street. Similarly, you might have read already, but we have a trash delay in effect, which means there is no trash pickup on Monday. Just because there's no trash pickup on Monday does not mean you can still put your barrel at the curb. You have to keep your barrel off the curbside until it is trash day. And so please, I was on my way here this morning and I saw some people who have already brought their barrels to the curb. You need to bring those back in. That can be as difficult as a parked car in trying to plow a street. So for the sake of your own street and for your neighbors, bring your barrels back in. I encourage residents to follow social media, the city's official social media and their local news channel for further updates. The timing of the lifting of the parking ban and future trash delay information will all be pushed out through those methods. Finally, I'll note that there is severe health risks and risks to safety in a storm like this. We're anticipating extreme cold, we're anticipating near whiteout conditions, and we're anticipating power outages. And so you need to have a plan for your family. The city's emergency warming shelters are open, and we have a plan for emergency shelters should we need to shelter large numbers of people. At the height of the storm, if you find that you are in crisis or an emergency, if it is a life safety crisis, please call 911. If you need to learn more information about where you can go to a warming center, you can call 311 or the United Way at 211. This is a great opportunity today, Sunday, this afternoon, to check in on your neighbors, loved ones, and family members, to make sure that they have a plan, that they have the basic supplies that they need, that they're informed about the parking ban and the trash delay. We appreciate everyone's assistance with this. If we all step up and do our part, then everyone can have a better plowed street, can have a city that's ready to reopen faster. Your city government is hard at work on your behalf, but we all need to do our part. Happy to take any questions. Pat?
Mayor, in cities across the Northeast that are in the path of this storm, they're challenged by how to deal with the unhoused. Mm-hmm. What approach is the city of Providence taking proactively and in terms of warming shelters and spaces?
Yeah. So throughout this winter, and obviously we've had extreme cold and actually colder days than we're expecting over the next 2 days, the city and the state has opened additional emergency shelters. And so we have shelter capacity. At this point, the people who we are most concerned about are those unhoused neighbors who are living in encampments or are living on the street and not already in shelter. And so the Providence Fire Department has a unit called Mental Health 1, which is staffed with a clinician or a practitioner along with a firefighter. Mental Health 1 and the Providence Fire Department will be going out to all known encampments today, Sunday, to personally notify those individuals about the threats and impacts of this impending storm to try to get them into emergency shelter.
Mr. Mayor, I have a question. So what precautions or extra precautions is the city taking for this blizzard to avoid a situation like last time where there was still snow piled in certain parts of the city for days after?
Yeah, we've learned the lessons from the last storm to be able to respond to today's storm. So in addition to what we hope to be much better compliance with the parking ban, which was a key concern in the last one. We've started the parking ban earlier today. We've increased our tow capacity fourfold. We're making these early announcements with Providence Police to help with compliance. We also, I think as folks know, we engaged snow haulers in addition to plow drivers in the last storm, but a couple days later. And so that was the first time we had done snow removal in years. We now have those vendors under contract, on standby, ready to start as soon as the last snowfall falls, which we expect to be Monday night. And so better parking ban compliance, additional vendors, primarily in the form of snow haulers, and adequate supplies. We were proactive in ordering additional salt and sand mix, which arrived last week. So we have more than enough to get through this storm, and we're working very closely with all of our partners in government so that everyone who's got a spare hand is helping with this effort. Pat?
Has there been communication with the governor's office and the federal delegation about the potential for a disaster declaration?
Yes. The Rhode Island Emergency Management Agency has been coordinating with all municipal leaders in Rhode Island. I've been participating in those calls for 2 days. We've got another one in a couple hours. I know that an emergency declaration has been contemplated but not yet issued. You should stay tuned for any announcement from the governor. If the state issues a declaration of emergency, then the city would not. That would cover the whole state. In the event that the state does not issue an emergency declaration, we would contemplate doing so on our own here in the city of Providence.
And what type of help would be available from the federal government? Again, understanding that this is a once in a decade or so event.
So when an emergency declaration is made, then you still need to meet certain thresholds as defined by FEMA to qualify for federal reimbursement. So the first step is the declaration. The second step is whether you meet the thresholds, which often have to do with total snowfall or other quantification of damage from the storm. And then if we qualify, then we have the potential for federal reimbursement. I know, and because I've been speaking to my colleague mayors around the state of Rhode Island, all of our snow budgets are busted. We all have spent a tremendous amount of money on this storm, on this winter, and so the prospect of federal reimbursement would be welcome relief to taxpayers in Providence and I'm sure taxpayers in every other municipality in Rhode Island.
And throughout the storm, we're talking about excess power outages throughout. I mean, this could last a couple of days. Has there been any conversations within your partnership here about, contingency plans when it comes to if we do lose power for a matter of 3 days? That's water. It's a whole list of things that go down. People would need it. Is there any contingency plans or conversations along that?
So first, we've been in touch with Rhode Island Energy starting yesterday or the day before to ensure that they're adequately staffed, and we're always trying to make sure that resources that from the same company don't end up in Pennsylvania that should be here in Rhode Island to make sure that Rhode Island power gets reinstated. And I'm satisfied from the communications I've had from Rhode Island Energy that they've got adequate crews here, but it still could take days, as you point out. We have emergency warming centers as part of our winter plans, but then we also have contingency for actual shelters. And so if necessary, we will activate our shelter plan. We've already been doing the prep work in advance. That will be a decision made based upon the evolution of this storm over the next day or two, but we have at a minimum 2 shelters that can be turned on in a matter of an hour or two that have been prepped and staged, and if necessary, we'll be able to house large numbers of our neighbors who maybe can't return home for days. Great, thanks everybody.
Josh?